welcome to the Social 333 podcast. I'm your host, Chris Bentley. Today, my guest is Sawsan Abublan. Did I say it right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You got this.
Yes. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself and what you got going on.
My name is Sawsan Abublan. I am originally a pharmacist by education. I worked as a pharmacist for a couple decades before my husband and I decided to switch gears and become entrepreneurs. And we established Shawarma Press Franchising, the first shawarma franchise in the United States. And now we have 11 locations.
Yeah, you guys are blowing up. I was looking at your website. I was looking at, I've seen, like I've driven by. I haven't gone in yet and I really want to, especially now because I'm starving. But talk to me about the pivot, because this is really interesting. You went from being in the pharmacy, were you like a pharmacy tech?
No, an actual pharmacist, like a real RPH, registered pharmacist.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're mixing like concoctions and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Part of my journey included that.
And then to switch into becoming a restaurant owner, did you ever have any restaurant experience?
No, not really.
Okay.
No, not. So the idea was not to run a restaurant. It was actually to establish a franchise. And
right out the gate.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the market research led us to a franchise in the food and beverage and drilled down into what is missing from the food and beverage. And it was shawarma. And whoever had the shawarma before knows that it's addictive. It's just like burger, tacos, and pizza. I mean, whoever.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, it's something that you would normally eat in the Middle East more than once a week.
Wow.
And we found a gap in the market. And because we wanted to run a franchise, we really had to drill that deep and find a gap in order to be able to establish a brand and then expand.
That's really interesting because you label yourself as a fast casual restaurant, not just a regular, sit down and order something and somebody comes and serves you. It's more of just a fast casual, come in, get what you want, eat and go and take out.
Absolutely.
How did you, because I know we cater to a lot, or our audience is a lot of entrepreneurs, small business owners, they're looking to franchise. When you say you just went out to franchise, did you have like a crowdfunding? Did you have somebody back you up? Was it just kind of like you guys saved up a bunch of money and we're like, okay, we're going to try this. We're going to get it going. Yeah. We kind of know where we're going anyway. We got the roadmap. We just need to just have the experience under our belt.
Yeah, you nailed it. So basically, we did not want to take any loans because we did a lot of research and I want to say that we knew what we were doing, but at the same time, just because a couple of years later, COVID hit, which we didn't know anything about, we did not want to be hit with some sort of an unusual circumstance and end up not being able to pay our debt. So we had saved some money and we used that money very wisely. The first thing that we invested in is actually getting our franchise disclosure document ready, which is the FDD for short. And that actually went through, I want to say, a specialized agency. So we did not just, try to do it on our own. And this is really my advice for anyone who thinks about, franchising as, I want to say, whoever wants to become a franchisor, like what we did, they need to actually reach out and get some professional backup and support, someone who can help them create the groundwork for that. And to your point, that's what we did. We invested in the infrastructure. We were able to get the franchise disclosure document, also all the manuals that would help anyone get a business started. And we did it ourselves first. So we started the first location, we tested it out, and we needed to make sure that it is replicable. And once we were able to determine that, then we offered franchising. We did not really reach out and market our franchise until we tested it out ourselves.
That's really interesting because a lot of times it's kind of like myself, like you know, you start a business and then you're like, okay, well, this is really cool. And then you get kind of like some big eyes and you're like, okay, well, you know, instead of just having Dallas, I could probably have Austin. If I can have Austin, I could probably have, you know, San Antonio. And then before you know it, you're in multiple states and you're kind of splitting your energy all over the place. We had a guy that does franchises. He does junk hauling, and he was talking about some of the struggles that he had where, you know, and you even watch it in the movie with Ray Kroc, stuff like that, where like they just, you know, they start selling hot dogs and you're like, no, you're just supposed to sell hamburgers, right? And it's like before you know it, they're kind of off the rails and stuff. And if you don't corral them, then a lot of times what happens is the brand gets washed away or people start doing things they're not supposed to do. Talk about some of the challenges that you've experienced just, you know, getting out the gate and then going into franchising.
Honestly, the biggest issue, it was like the pandemic. The pandemic hit. We had opened our store, the first store we opened in 2017. By 2019, we were ready to start marketing to franchisees. And, you know, end of that year, beginning 2020, this is where the pandemic hit. So the biggest challenge was resilience, was really the true test to our system, even though at that time we could not really consider it a system because we only had one unit. But that was the biggest test to the resilience of what would have been a system. And luckily we passed. We did not close our doors to our restaurant. Not even for one day.
Wow.
We were lucky that no one got sick because at that time, if you remember, they would shut down any facility for
all
2
kinds
weeks.
of stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. For 2 weeks, if anyone got sick. Luckily, we had serious precautions with our employees and also for the establishment itself, like the continuous sanitization and things like that. And so we did not close. But the other challenge during COVID was not just to stay open, was to actually have employees because, you know, everybody was struggling, and to have your supply chain uninterrupted because, you know, business from China was like completely interrupted. We were not getting any of the like packaging or paper goods or plastic goods that we were getting that way. But we were able to survive because we had backup. Nice. We had backup and we had backup to the backup. Nice. So our supply chain really sustained the impact. And not only did we stay open, but we also had enough employees and we had enough, you know, inventory to serve. So, yeah.
I know for me, I made a lot of money during COVID, but when I was going out eating and stuff like that, I think I got sick because I was perfectly healthy and I went to a restaurant and I think somebody was making my food that had COVID.
Ooh.
And then I got sick, and it's been kind of, you know, there's like flus that go around. They're like, they say that they're flus, but they're really like an offset of COVID. Like I've gotten sick from people handling my food as well, which is really great to hear that you guys didn't have or weren't really impacted, because that's great.
I'm not going to lie to you. The pharmacist in me kicked in like crazy.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I literally felt that, it was just my instinct and also my education that really, really helped us stay safe during that time, because even if it was, just wearing the masks, wearing them properly is a big difference between, someone getting sick and someone not getting sick, because a lot of people were wearing them and leaving their noses, exposed, or because, they were tired of it, or they say they couldn't breathe or comfortably and things like that. But just, I think the healthcare back knowledge really helped.
Talk to me about your position now. So when I visualize myself being a franchise owner or other franchises owning a part of my company, I would get nervous and couldn't sleep at night. And then I would probably get in the car on random days and drive down and personally look to see, like, are they doing what they're supposed to be doing, pretending like I wasn't the owner and like
Mm-hmm.
ordering something, because a lot of times like the employees probably wouldn't know who you are, and I would just, order some food, and if it didn't meet the specifications, like probably have a pretty nasty conversation with the franchise owner. Like, do you do a lot of that stuff yourself, or and your husband?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, all of the above. We would order online because we have an app and we have online ordering. So we would order online and just, pick up and go and then do like a review that way. But a lot of times we would also walk in unannounced and do a serious tour. And then the third thing, which is even more beautiful, is secret shoppers. We do send secret shoppers all the time to see exactly what's going on. And they have a list of what they need to be looking for. Luckily, I should say that so far, nothing major has been detected, especially because the way we established I want to say the food quality parameters where I want to say like we have full control over the main items because we actually make them at our commissary and send them down to the stores. So you have the chicken shawarma, the beef shawarma, the falafel, the hummus, and the savory pastries. Those are made at our facilities. So by the time they get to the store, we know what they're getting. The final touches are just to put the sauce and the toppings, and those get tested anyway individually. So we would test the final product, but we would also, during our tour, we would literally have a tray of samples that has a little bit of every little thing, and we test everything individually. So, sometimes you find, a little salt missing here and there, or, something like that. But the freshness has been superb. And overall, we don't have any major concerns, luckily.
That's great.
Yeah.
Because that's where I would think is that, after a while, it would be a situation where just things would get out of control, especially when you deal in the restaurant industry, because there's a lot of turnover. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to ask you on the show is like, I know that the margins for food is just very, very slim. And anytime we were talking about this on the last time I was over here, we had a guest, and somebody will be like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about opening up a restaurant. And you'd be like, well, do you know how much it costs to like set one up? And then the margins are like, not very big. How do you expect to do it? And they'll be like, oh, well, I won't set up a restaurant. Maybe I'll go into like doing this online or something, and it's just like, it makes no sense. But I really, really appreciate, what you've done. And it's just a little different edge, I think, a different angle to that most people would do. Because for me, I would just start a company and be like, okay, cool. And then get to a point where I'm like, you know what, maybe I'll franchise, and I have to do like all the paperwork. Like, this is how we hire, this is how we train. Yeah. And you did that like all in the beginning.
Yes, and that is truly my advice for anyone thinking about doing any business, really and truly. Like, even if somebody doesn't want to have multi-unit of a business, whether it's food and beverage or whether it's a service, it's still a business. So establishing a business really requires a lot of hard work before you actually open your doors. Really, your hardest, toughest part of the journey is actually getting started. And besides reaching out on the shawarma press level, besides reaching out to experts in the franchising industry, I connected with the Chamber of Commerce. I connected with the local organizations, the SBA, from a resource standpoint. Yes, we did not take loans, but they are a great resource as well for small businesses. So I really, really and truly encourage anyone who's thinking about opening a business to reach out to the resources that are available and educate themselves about all of that. So even if they didn't have a booklet that tells them this is how we hire, they need to understand the laws and regulations in their area specifically. Not only that, a lot of people actually postpone hiring an accountant. They postpone hiring legal counsel. And for those, I say you don't have to hire a full-time accountant and you don't have to hire a full-time attorney. You can reach out to businesses that do your I would say your service alongside other clients that they have, and that does not cost you like a full-time in-house legal counsel or in-house accountant. But don't postpone that. You have to get the advice and the support of all the experts that you need around you, honestly, before you open, because once you open, it's too late.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, to be really honest. So like I'll have an idea and I'll be like, let's go, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, right? So it's like I have this idea as an entrepreneur or small business owner, and you're like, I got this great idea, I'm going to do X, and you go and you start doing X, and then you're like, oh no, like I don't know, like QuickBooks and accounting is not my specialty. So I'm like, thankfully my sister's a master CPA, so I have to be like, hey, like what if I do this? And she's like, no, you can't do that. Or like, can I write this off? No, I can't. And then I'll be like, oh, okay. And then on the legal side, I have some people that I can call anytime.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. A lot of times, that's what I really like about your angle is like, you thought about it more of not, okay, I'm going to start this business. Let's see if it's going to work. It's like, no, I know it's going to work, but let's go a step further and franchise it, and let's document everything so that when we are ready, like we could just kind of move forward. Somebody can pick it up. We just need to make the adjustment instead of detailing everything, kind of like where I am, where I'm like, this is like step one, place ad, step two, right? Talk to me about, and I saw this question and I thought it was really, really interesting, habits and routines that helped you and continue to help you.
It's just my nature though, but I think anybody who's not organized by nature need to get organized right from the get-go. So I'm an organized person when it comes to my thoughts, when it comes to my surrounding. Like my desk has to be, I'm not going to say clean, as in like nothing on it. No, it has a lot of things on it, but they are organized and I know exactly where everything is. And also the task list. Chris, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I'll be working on something and then I'll get either a phone call, a text message, an email, and I will literally like divert and take care of it. Because in the restaurant world, when you have one restaurant, you're bombarded with things, but imagine when you have 11, right? But if I did not have my task list in front of me to fall back right onto, once I'm done with the text message or the phone call or the email, I literally be lost. And so, I like having the one that helps you check off and still keep it on there. Yeah, you check it off, you've done it. Gives you a sense of accomplishment. And at the same time, you don't lose track of what you're supposed to be doing and your priorities. And the priorities are actually like not even all daily, because you have things that occur every month. You have things that occur annually, and then you have your daily and your weekly that now by heart you probably know them, right? But then the ones that slip your mind are the ones that you have to take care of, once a month or once every 2 months. Well, there's stuff that are quarterly even, and I don't know that I'm thinking about it in the restaurant world, like you have to clean your vent hood every quarter. You know what I'm saying? So things like that. And I'm talking about both on the restaurant operation level, but also on the franchisor operation and management level. And these are two different things, but I have to keep track of both.
Where are you headed now? Are you looking to get into grocery stores? Are you looking to get into, multiple states? Are you looking to do both? I had a gentleman on here that sells barbecue, and he's in like Walmart, he's in Kroger's, and like a whole lot of other places. But it's a family business, been running 80 something years, which is really, really impressive. Where are you going? Like, what is your desire now?
So we have 4 locations inside Walmart as of today. I mean, we expanded into Walmart in 2021, right after COVID, and they recognized our resilience, knowing that we survived COVID, and so they thought that this is a local brand. Walmart at that time was looking to replace vacant food spaces. Because of other brands that are exited, and so they were looking for local, healthy options, and they really love the shawarma press idea. And so we have 4 locations now in Walmart operating. I think at this time, grocery stores may not be as attractive as they used to be, just because those grocery stores themselves are now doing business in the parking lot. So they're shifting their strategy more towards pickup and delivery. And that reduced the foot traffic inside the grocery stores. I'm really happy with the 4 locations that I have inside Walmart, but I don't think we will be strategically expanding within grocery stores just because of that reason, right? So multi-state, I'm going to say regional. Not going to overdo it. I still need to keep my supply chain close so that we can deliver the items that we prepare at our commissaries. So right now, the farthest we have are 2 locations in Atlanta. And that was based on a 3-unit deal that we had with a franchisee who wanted to start with 3. He got 2 out. Now the 3rd one should be on the works. So I'm going to expand outside of Texas with multi-unit owners more than anything else, just because it makes more sense. So we're not going to put in 1 location in between Texas and Atlanta. I would rather have a 3-unit deal minimum with someone who's able and willing to expand with multi.
That's really interesting about the grocery store. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I ordered a bunch of stuff when I had my surgery. I didn't want to go to the grocery store to go pick it up because it was heavy. And I got delivered. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, the people are very, very nice and stuff like that. It just, every time I ordered it, it was always late. And then, like for me, like time is money. So like if it was supposed to be at 3 and it shows up at 7, and I'm sitting around the house like waiting for this thing to show up, and the people are very nice, but I wish I had the 4 hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. If somebody were to get in touch with you, wanted to find out more information about maybe franchising, or just had some questions about business, where would they find you?
So we have a dedicated website for all franchising information, and it is www.shawarmapressfranchise.com. shawarmapressfranchise.com. And over there, you will be able to find all the information about franchising, whether it's the investment bracket or the available territories, or all the news about our franchise and what we have been up to. And that there's a contact form and an inquiry form. And there's a phone number there as well. So any way you'd like to get in touch with us, you should be able to easily find that.
Awesome. Sawsan, I appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you, Chris. I enjoyed.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.